that.
Something like that.
Yes. And usually the people that grind it out to get in the top spots to enter into the Premier League from the Open League are going to be your grinders. These are going to be your more tenured poker players. These are going to be players that have a completely different tool belt that's full of different attributes for playing poker. And it's like going like this, going from an aquarium full of piranhas in the Open Skill League to an aquarium full of tiger sharks at the same time. Because, tiger sharks, they can both be aggressive and at the same time they can be passive and ambush their prey. And what I mean by ambush is that players in the Premier League are very, very trappy.
Just 1 second,
Very
Cameron.
trappy.
I'm just going to have to call you this all-in shove. Pocket jacks
Okay.
and narrow meandering through over pocket jacks. I called with ace king and I managed to hit a king of the flop. So, boom, baby.
Oh yeah. All right, so what's your stack up to now?
9,400.
Huge stack, and blinds are at.
Oh, blinds are at 400, 200, so not that big.
400, 200. Yeah, you still have. Let's see here, a little over 20 bigs. You're gonna run deep.
We have the Spring Fever home game club, the Poker School Online home game series back running again, and we have the bounty tournaments are on today.
And what time do they start?
Well, it's 8 p.m. my time, but that's probably like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning for you.
Yes, but I was able to get a nap earlier. I went to bed around 8 a.m. You'd think for a person that is in their their mid to late 20s that they would still be up late, and it finally caught up with me. Now I'm just going to bed really early, like 8 a.m., and then I become like old man coffee up at the break of dawn. Yes, I'm like up at like 5 a.m., 4 a.m., but it's okay. I'll try to get into the game later for the bounty. It's been a while since I played some of the PSO home games, and there was a time where I used to play like every home game within the tournament series for the PSO home games. Speaking of that, the PSO series of poker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brian popped in.
What's going on with that?
Brian popped in here last week and he was telling us a little bit about it. It'll start at the end of May, and we'll have the usual 4 or 5 or maybe even 6 weeks of mayhem. So we'll have guys contesting real money games in the client, and the play money games will be in the Poker School Online Community Home Game Club as usual.
Yes, that's right.
Everybody will be looking out for those coveted bracelets.
Yeah, speaking of those bracelets, shameless brag, not to be boastful, but I gotta say it. It's kind of like the equivalent of a poker celebrity winning a bracelet. Just like every interview, they're always talking about their bracelets and their accomplishments, and how are people gonna know what you've achieved in poker if you don't market yourself? But I might as well take some time to do it. Yeah, I have 5 PSO series of poker bracelets.
That's
I'm
pretty
a quintuplet.
sick.
There's a quintuplet bracelet. Quintuplet. Ugh.
Yeah, it's
Why can't they just say 5 times?
Quintuplet, isn't it?
Wait, or is it 6 bracelets?
I don't know.
Yeah, I lost count, but you want to know one player that probably lost count, and that's community member Fistful, A Fistful. I think he has
he's a
over
beast.
10 bracelets.
He's a beast for sure.
Yeah, he is a beast, and he has a very unorthodox approach towards poker, and it's one that I've had a difficult time solving, and I've adjusted to many different players over the course of my poker career the past few years. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. What tactics would be most effective versus his style of play? I guess it would be get dealt aces every time and hope they hold, or
whatever the guy is doing, he's doing it right, because it's not just a flash in the pan. A Fistful is a name that's regularly up there on the monthly serious leaderboards every month. So he's regularly winning the prizes and tickets. So
Yes, and I was observing his play, and he's not getting to showdown that often. A lot of the times, he's getting players to fold post flop in big pots, 3-bet pots. He's not afraid to play in and out of position. Yes, and I see that Steve has popped into the chat room of Twitch, and he said that I'll be in the storm, and he's loving the tips
he's loving your tips,
yeah.
Cano. No, from you.
Yeah, so Steve is not. Hey, when you do play the storm, just remember, Tide is right at the beginning, and why don't you go ahead and touch up on your skills, brush up on your skills, and check out the video archive, and just take some notes. The punchlines of each individual video. Even though the video is 1 hour long, there's going to be a punchline to every video, and usually it's the title itself, like 9-max strategy mid to late, or 9-max strategy shorthanded, and take notes on your notepad just to fall back on whenever you run mid to late, or even mid stages of a tournament. It just helps as a reminder. Everybody needs to be reminded. I mean, like, even me, my girlfriend, sometimes she needs to remind me to put the toilet seat down. A very basic example.
That's just a typical man thing.
Yes, it is. I think it's hardwired into our genetics and our DNA as a man. Yeah, to just give women a hard time on all these different trivial matters that might pop up within a relationship.
And it's nothing to be ashamed about.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Not at all.
So we're down to 10 players now. Like, we've been playing for an hour and nearly 10 minutes now, and we've only lost 3 players. So we've lost Techman 180 from Canada. So good game, Techman.
Yes, great game.
Yeah, and thank you for stopping in. Yeah, but Dave is going to be doing his live training session in about 2 hours' time, and he's going to be railing the bounty games during tonight's live training session, so that should be fun.
Yes, it should, and it's always great to see. Yes, it's always great to see the head of live training, streaming. From time to time, I used to pop into his live trainings, but there's always been that thing going on with the people that live in the Asia Pacific, that the live trainings start late. But when I did fall back on them and I watch back on the video archives, he has a really brilliant mind when it comes to poker. He's been with PSO right from the get-go, right when it was first conceptualized, way back in the day. One of the pioneers of PSO, along with Brian and the rest of them. I believe that was Trump and Joe, and then there are a few others as well. But I'm curious to see what his stream is like on Twitch.
Have you not seen Dave on Twitch yet?
No, I haven't.
It's awesome.
No, I haven't. Yeah, because it really lags over here. Like, I'm still stuck on the 7-3 hand. Yeah, I'm still stuck on that 7-3 hand that I was speaking about 15 minutes ago or so.
Wow, that is laggy.
Yes, it is unreal. But I'm sure that the element of live training has developed more into a casual manner.
It's great. It's great to see Dave's face on Twitch, and you can actually put a face to the voice, because he has it set up on his little screen. He has a little television, and you can see his webcam in the television. So yeah, and he usually wears his Chicago Bears hat.
The football team.
Yeah, he's a big Bears fan.
Yes, back when I was a football fan, this is way back in the day, like well over a decade ago. I was into the Rams back when Kurt Warner and Marshall
Los Angeles Rams,
yeah. Before it was the Los Angeles Rams, and then it transitioned into the St. Louis Rams. And this is when they beat the Titans, I think back in 2001? Yeah, that's back when Eddie George was a running back, and I forget the name of the quarterback. What's his name? Gosh, it's been so long since I've thought about it. But yeah, I was a Rams fan, and I wasn't even from St. Louis. Maybe it was because I was just adapting to the trends, and I liked their, the color coordination of their team and the way that they actually played poker. But Kurt Warner, he has a really great story. Before he used to play in like the minor league footballs, the football league. I think it was called XFL or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was a minor league standout, and then he got drafted onto one of the National Football League Association teams, which was the Rams. And then he went on to win a Super Bowl. Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that attracted me to that team back then is, that underdog story, rising from, out of nowhere and then conquering the entire NFL league to win a Super Bowl.
We just lost another player. We just lost Dagda, who finished in 10th place, so good game, Dagda. And that brings us to a final table. We're 9-handed now.
9-handed? Who's the chip leader? Yes, Steve has not said that the best tactic is just to fold. Yes, or when in doubt, just go all in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
No, just
put maximum pressure though on your opponent.
If ever you're in doubt, yes, sometimes the best tactic is to fold. But at times, depending on the stack and the player, and following your intuition, following your heart or your gut instinct, sometimes you shouldn't steer away from caution. Sometimes you should just face danger right in the face and ship it all in over the top on the river on a scary board. Yes, it may get your heart going, it may jeopardize your tournament, but it may acquire you more chips to put into your stack and ensure your longevity in the tournament.
Okay, so I just pulled up the lobby, and in first place we have Sunny Bai. He's from India. He's on 16,000 chips. Nara Meandrau is from Canada. He's in second place. I'm currently third. Then we've two UK players. We have Harold Christ and Steve is not. And next up then in sixth place is last week's winner, myself, with all the zeros. He's another Canadian player. And then we have Flash 347, TJ Vancouver, and Dr. Votip. Is our 9 players left. But it's getting to the stage where it got to last week that one hand could change everything, because the blinds are now at 700, 350, and everybody's on 16k is the chip leader. But if he loses two hands and some guy picks up two good hands, things change very quick.
Yes, the tides can really shift from being absolutely full and just sweeping everything, and it could also be shallow. And what I mean by that is, it really is chip and share. It doesn't matter how short your stack is. You can really get on a roll, even if you do happen to get your hand in with what would be deemed as a very marginal hand. And usually it's right to do it if you're to master your push-fold ranges. Like, it's not bad to get it in with Jack-9 suited on less than 10 big blinds when it's folded around to you on the button, or even in later positions, depending on how light the players behind you are capable of calling, because it's easier to ship it all in than it is to call an all in, and it's harder to call an all in than it is to ship an all in. So you're really putting a player to a decision behind you, because let's say you had like less than 10 big blinds, and it would just say 7 big blinds, and then your opponent has 15 big blinds. They have to be right when they call you there, a huge percentage of the time in order to win a pot. And if they lose, it's in the back of their mind. They'll be like, hey, if I lose this pot, I'll be right where their chip stack is, and I don't want to be nursing a short stack. So yeah, master those push fold ranges and get ready for that Sunday storm. You could check out Nash charts, or Nash charts. I forget the name of the website.
Nash Equilibrium.
Yes, the Nash Equilibrium. I'm trying to think of the name of the website. I think it's what is it?